Hi everybody, Lex the Gray here. We're continuing our Lone Wolf campaign. Now, once again, I'll be using miniatures for this one. After his recent run-in with his goblins, he finds himself in an apparently abandoned town as he enters, and it is nighttime. We also have our 3 bennies ready. What I'm going to do, based on the last mission, or his last encounter, I will increase, changing it from experience tracking to missions. I'm going to give him 1 bump up in tracking. There it is. So I'll give him a D4. An advance, basically. That's a skill that he does know now. All right. So as he enters this town that's awkwardly quiet, he hears some noise. Well, there is noise. Let's see if he hears it. We'll do a notice roll, which is +2 on a D6. So we also use the wild die, going for that 4. And the wild die actually does hit that 4 with the +2 modifier. Though it's faint, he does hear a noise. He hears it coming from this alleyway to the left. Now looking at his stats, his hindrances, he is brave. Alertness also, I think that's what gives him the +2 in notice. But he is arrogant. So he's going to, not seeing nothing, south from here, he doesn't see anything ahead of him, he's going to enter this alleyway. As he enters cautiously, there's no light source, not much light at all, just the moonlight. He stumbles upon the following. There is a zombie right here that's just kind of standing there in the middle of this area, this pocket. And the zombie's hissing, mumbling to itself. That's the noise that Wolf heard. So Wolf slowly approaches it from behind. He looks around, he sees there's a door closed here, and there's a continuation of the alley, and then also through here. So the zombie's alone. So what he's going to do is attack it from behind, which will give a bonus modifier. Let's look for zombie in our character, the bestiary. See if there is one in Savage Worlds. Yeah, as expected from my last few videos ago, my mass combat, there are zombies. So the zombie has a parry of 5. We'll keep that in mind. We're using our fighting skill, which is going to be a D8 with our D6 wild die. Okay, rolling for basically using our longsword, but first we got to roll for fighting. This parry's 5, so the D6 explodes. We ignore the D8, which landed at 2, so the D6 explodes. Whoops, forgot to roll use the white die as the wild die. Okay, there explodes again here, or it explodes. We get 9. That's over his parry, and that is considered 1 raise. So that gives us an extra D6 damage, rolling for damage. Its toughness of a zombie is 7. So damage is rolled with our strength die plus the D8 of the weapon. So 2 D8s. We'll keep those close by. We also get an extra D6 for damage. All right, so the parry is 7. Obviously, we did that. 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12. So the parry of 7, that's 1 raise, which means not only is it shaken, it's also wounded. I will also have 1 token, or 1 Benny for the Game Master. So he's able to take out this. Also, I forgot to include a +2 on the attack roll because we're doing a surprise from behind. But nevertheless, the zombie has been killed. explain. Okay, so we cleared this area here. Wolf is going to check the door to see if it's open. Let's ask the Oracle here. See if it is actually open. This will be a D100 roll. I'm going to say if the town is abandoned, most likely it is unlocked. So let's send 75% chance. 18. It is a yes. This door, this little area here is open. Looks like it's some kind of storage room. So he is going to open the door fairly carefully. And is there anything inside the storage room? Let's say 15% chance. Or someone, I should say. There's not. Cleared. So 56, that's a no. He enters the storage room, looks around. He's assuming if there's one zombie, there are multiples. And obviously there's just boxes. He's not a thief, so he's not going to steal anything. The door was open. So he goes back outside, and he closes the door. Now we're going to choose either this path or this path. I'm going to say 50% chance he'll go this way. Let's roll for him. So 50% chance we're going east. That's a negative. He's going to go... Oh, I'm sorry, that's a yes. He is going to go this way. So he enters this main road. And we'll do a little map reveal here. He's carefully approaching this parallel road to the other path. Now, is there any zombies here? 75% chance. Oh, that is a... That's a 10. So, yeah, there is. And there's actually several. If I'm reading that right. Yep, that's a 10. Okay, there are several. They are walking. Now, are they going to notice Wolf? If Wolf steps out, it's dark, so they're kind of blending in. I'm going to say there are several walking mindlessly. Perhaps this one is walking this way. There's this one here. Looks like it's a... I did use these guys in my deathmatch videos recently. Okay, they're not facing Wolf. They won't face him yet. But this will require stealth because Wolf is going from here to here in the area of the zombies. I'm going to say we'll do a stealth roll. And that is a unskilled check. Unskilled trick test. Skill test. So D4 minus 2, which means that minus 2 applies to both the wild die and the D4 itself. And look at that. Well, the D4 exploded, so we removed the wild die, which is good. And we can now roll an additional D4. We're shooting for 2 more. So 5, 6, 7. That's a success. So that's a 5. One over our target number. So he's able to enter this area, and he sees these zombies kind of lurking around, wandering. This one moves over here. This one moves over here. And this guy moves over here. The wolf is going to go after this one and strike from, like previously, behind. Once again, the parry of these zombies, well, can't forget the +2 modifier this time on the attack roll, is 5. So we're going to do our fighting skill, which will be D8, and D6, the wild die. Okay, the D6 explodes. The D8 is not considered, so we're going to roll another D6. 7, that is actually over the parry. So it hits. Toughness of 7, so now we're rolling for, oh, I'm sorry, +2. So that's going to be 7, 8, 9. That's a raise. That's an additional D6 for damage. Okay, so for damage, it's the 2D8s as usual with his longsword. He's going in for the kill with additional D6. Parries against 7, or I should say the toughness. There we go. So this zombie, that's going to be 14, 18. Clearly, this zombie has been beheaded and dies. But the zombie does let out a scream, alerting this one to attack. And now we are in combat. So I'm going to draw two cards, or I should say, let's do it like this. Let's use a red and blue d6 to calculate, to figure out who goes first. Okay, we do. So we're going to move up to the zombie and attack it against the parry of 5. And that's going to be our fighting die of a d8 and the d6 wild die. Okay, so not the best roll. We clearly miss. I can spend a Benny to re-roll that. Thinking about it, I'm going to say no. I might regret that. All right, now the zombie attacks. It's just an extra, so it does not have a wild die. His fighting skill is a d6. So he just rolls a single d6 against our... Well, that's a fail. Okay, so it misses. This zombie walks over here. And now we're going to attack again with our d8 and our d6 wild die. Parry of 5 is our goal. The D... Okay, it is a hit. Nothing aces. The d6 hits. Now I roll for damage with the 2d8s. Okay, 7. The toughness is 7, which means it's shaken. So I will get the white poker chip to represent its shaken status. So now we're back to the zombie. If I'm not mistaken, it has to do a spirit check for the shaken status, the condition. Its spirit is a d4. Now, I'm not following the rules completely by the book, but based on the moment, let's see what happens when it does a shaking check. 4, it does indeed get to the target numbers, thus it loses its shaken status. Okay, that was surprising actually. All right, now the zombie is going to attack our hero, and its fighting die, I believe, was a d6. That's correct. So it attacks against our toughness of 8, parry of 7. 1. Once again, it is not hitting so hard. Now it's back to Wolf. Wolf sees this zombie actually looks at us and approaches. So now Wolf gets over here and is going to attack. So once again, d8 and a d6. 5, 5. That hits the parry of 5. Yep. And now we roll for damage, which is 2d8s. 4. That's going to be, unfortunately, a no damage. All right, this zombie enters the bout. We'll house rule that in there. But this zombie is still attacking, so he has a d6. Rolling for attack with his fighting die. 2. That's a miss. And now this zombie is going to move. Its pace is 4. I'm going to say that's close enough. And is going to attack Wolf from the side. All right, rolling for the d6. Its fighting die. 1. These zombies are pretty pathetic. Okay, now it's Wolf's turn. He's going to attack the new zombie that just approached him. Thus, we need to roll our d8 and wild die d6. Whoops. All right, let's see. 4. That's not enough. The parry's 5. Okay. He's saving his bennies for now. This zombie attacks Wolf, rolling for d6. Oh, that's an explosion. So that aces. Another D6. Oh, another D6. Wow. Okay. That's 12. That's 13. His toughness, his parry is 7. So that's going to be one raise. So success plus raise. Now we have to roll. So with that one raise, so 7, and then we landed on 13. That's one raise. Okay, which means they get an extra d6 for damage. And their damage, their attack is claws. It's just the strength die, which is a d6. So we're rolling two d6s against Wolf. 4, and that's not going to be enough at all. So Wolf got lucky here. All right, just looking at the stats here. The head. So weakness of the zombie is the headshot. Shots to the zombies are plus 2 damage. Okay, so the wolf, that was, I believe, one of the zombies. Now the other one is going to attack. Actually, a minute. Oh, yep, the other zombie attacks. Okay, so strength die or fighting skill die. 5, that's go. Oh, 5 is not a hit. All right, now it's back to us. Wolf is going for the head of this one because these zombies are becoming annoying. Rather annoying, a nuisance. He's going for the head if he hits. That'll be a D8 and a D6. Rolling for attack. Whoops. That's a hit. 6 is a hit. Now damage, 2d8s. Plus 2, so that's going to be, with the headshot, that's 5, 6, 7. That's not enough. Oh, I'm sorry. 7 is enough. That's shaken. So this zombie once again is shaken. Okay. Now it's back to this zombie here on the left. Is going to swipe. And as this fight's going, to increase the stakes, another zombie enters the shot. But now we're focusing on, let me do this. Let me track the movements, whose turn it is with this chip. Okay, so that's a miss. Next is going to be this zombie right here. The one that's shaken. We do a spirit check to see if the zombie can shake off that shaken, unintended. Okay, going for a 4. It's a 1. It's a fail, so it's still shaken. So what I will say is that the zombie, everything he does is a -2. So he tries to attack with his claws. And it does explode. A lot of explosions. The zombies are finally hitting. Another one. That's a 10 minus 2. It's an 8. And that does indeed hit our parry of 7. So that's going to be a hit, which means we roll for damage. It's just a strength die. 3. That's not enough. Okay. Now it's this zombie's turn. Let's see, of course, 4 inches for pace. So what I'll do is get out the measuring tape to see how far we are indeed. Yep, it's definitely close enough to hit. So this guy will get in between. See what I'm doing? It's like a video game. The longer Wolf takes to get rid of these zombies, the more that show up. So he has to hurry and take these guys out. So this zombie is going to attack with his D6 fighting die. 1, that's a fail. Now it's back to Wolf. Okay, Wolf is getting very frustrated here. These are not deadly against him by his standard, but they are a nuisance. So he doesn't have any special attacks. He just has his long sword. So he's going to attack the one that's shaken already, because another shaken would be a wound, thus death for that zombie, even though the zombie is technically undead. All right, we're rolling for attack, so that's a D8 with our weapon or fighting skill, and then a D6 for wild die. Nothing. Neither hits. Okay, now he's going to spend a Benny because he's becoming impatient. So re-roll attack. Wow. Okay. All right, so because of that, we roll Snake Eyes, which means it's an utter failure. And that was based on a re-roll from a Benny spent. So here's what's going to happen. Typically, the weapon breaks, the weapon falls. But, oh my gosh. Okay, so the shield that Wolf has on him will indeed fall off. The zombie, this little brat, grabs the zombie by his claws, by his hands, and takes it off of Wolf's person. So it's on the ground, which means he loses it, and that is a reduction, I think, in two, a reduction of two. Let me do a quick little math check here. All right, so that reduces our toughness to 6, if I'm not mistaken. Armor affects toughness. Now, this zombie just throws it on the ground, like takes it out of Wolf's hands after that terrible strike with his longsword, takes it out of his hands and tosses it on the ground and continues to attack. So that's our penalty for him. Now we're back at this zombie here who strikes. Remember, now it's becoming a nuisance. It very much is actually at this point. Okay, this zombie attacks with its D6. 2, that's a miss. This zombie here, the one who ripped the shield off. 5, it's not a hit, but it was close. And then the shaken zombie -2 on this roll. Okay, so no hit. So he got lucky. So what he'll do is go in this alleyway and attempt to, well, they're overcrowding him, so he's going to try to step back to his alley. But he's going to attack the shaken zombie. And that's going to be a D8 with a D6. Wild die as usual. Rolling for damage, rolling for attack. The 6 is a hit off the parry of 5. And we're rolling for damage, which we 2d8s as usual. Okay, so that's a 10, which is good. That's going to be a another shaken, which means this zombie is finally defeated. He's out of the game. Put that chip back. All right, now we're back to these zombies. So this zombie is going to walk up following Wolf, like so, and is going to attack. A 5 is not a hit, but again, once again, close. This zombie is going to approach Wolf from the side here and attack. Oops, let's use the D6 instead, or the red D6. 5 is not a hit. Okay, let's ask the Oracle, are there any zombies right behind him? Which is a good question, actually. I'm going to say, not in that alleyway. I mean, we did encounter one here, so let's say 40% chance. Oh my gosh, there is. There is a zombie right there. Okay, so this one is just kind of... Now, is the zombie facing Wolf as Wolf backs into... Oh, I'm going to say Wolf is looking over his head as he's stepping back. Is this zombie looking at Wolf? 50% he is. Yeah, that's indeed a yes. I totally forgot about the estimate, but it does indeed a yes. Okay, so Wolf is backing in, and he bumps into the zombie. The zombie kind of falls back a bit, growls, and now this zombie enters the fray. So Wolf is going to turn around and now attack that zombie. But I will put a -2 modifier for that action turning around. So attacking is going to be a D8 and the D6 wild die, but a -2 modifier on the whole thing. Okay, that's obviously going to be a fail. So he does not hit. All right, so now it's this new zombie's turn. He enters the fight, and he rolls for a D6. 2 is a miss. This smaller zombie enters first, blocking this other one, rolling for attack. 1, yep. This zombie can't do much, so it holds. Wolf is now surrounded, but Wolf is still focusing on attacking this zombie he just bumped into. So this whole town is, wherever this town is, contextually not too sure, this whole town is Oh my gosh, this whole time I've not been on the camera. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. Okay, my apologies. This whole town is infested with zombies, like roaches. So we're rolling for attack, and we're rolling for the D8 and a D6. That's going to be a ace. So the wild die is pulled off, and we roll another attack, ace, and let's see. That is a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So off the 8, the we have a 13 hit, 13 off the parry. 5 is that's two raises. So two raises, that's just you can only do one extra d6. I made a mistake before. I had multiple d6. So now we roll for damage, and that's both the d8s and the extra d6 for damage. Okay, so I rolled a let's see, the d8 explodes. Oh, this zombie's obliterated. We don't even need to ace the d8 there. So that zombie's gone. Okay, so we turn around. Oh, we can't. Sorry. Now we're to this zombie here. It's going to attack, obviously. Okay. 5 is not a hit. This zombie actually strikes its friend in frustration. So we're going to attack. It's going to attack itself. That's obviously just hits it back, but doesn't do anything. So this zombie gets frustrated and turns around. Now it's back to Wolf's turn. Wolf has a +2 advantage now because these two are having a little scuffle. Wolf is going to attack with advantage +2 because it's from behind. Thus we're rolling now. And that's okay. So the wild die aces. So that's another d6 +2 on the. Oh my god, another d6. Okay. Okay, so that's obviously an extra d6 for damage. Okay, so we don't even need to bother with that. So the d8s for the weapon die for the long sword plus an extra d6 for damage. All right, that's going to be plenty of damage. So 7, that is 13, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, that's clearly over the toughness of 7. Yep. So it is defeated. Now it's just this zombie. Put all these zombies off to the side. You guys can see my little roster here. Basically, let's see, all the pictures on standby. All right, this zombie's going to finally walk up and it strike with a d6. I'm sorry. Yep, d6 here. Oh, okay, finally a hit. Okay, so aced. We have 8. Our toughness is 6. That's a regular hit. No extra damage. That's going to be another d6 for damage. Just verifying that. Yep, strength for d6. Oh, 6. Wow. Okay, so this zombie was really frustrated. 7. 7 is that's a hit. Toughness of 6 because we lost 2, which means we are shaken. So there you go. We are shaken, and it's back to our turn. I'm going to conclude this episode, and then part 2 will be next. So thank you for watching, and I will also determine where exactly we are in terms of this town. So as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time for part 2 of this zombie-infested town.